What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Go Long Sports Show. We're going to be breaking down some of the picks that I made for the divisional round of the NFL. Then I'm going to get into a specific team, the Dallas Cowboys, talk about what their future looks like going forward with Dak Prescott, what kind of happened in their game specifically, and then we'll go from there. There's a few. I'm going to make a few videos today because there's a lot going on between football and basketball, but I digress. So I went 2 for 2 on picks this weekend. I had the Bengals beating the Jags. I had them winning by 2 scores. I think they won by 7. I also had the Chiefs winning. Oh, no. I had the Chiefs winning by 2 scores, yeah. So the Chiefs won and the Bengals won because, like I said, the Bills, Josh Allen has to do too much for them to win. There's really only one way the Bills can win. That's if Josh Allen throws for 4 tubs and they blow you out. They're really not built to like grind it out or even play from behind at all. And then I went 0 for 2 on the NFC side. I look like the Giants made me look like the biggest city in the world, make me look like a freaking 10-year-old Giants fan. But so they got blown out. They just didn't show up to play. I think it kind of got in their head throughout the week. Everyone's been on a team or has seen when a team. Here's what happened to the Giants. I'm not the only one. There was kind of like a feeling that the Giants had a chance this year. And I'm going to tell you what that feeling was. At the game, you seen all the great Giant dad, Lawrence Taylor. You know it's good if Eli show up. Eli hasn't been to a Giants game since he retired. They had Eli there on the sideline looking like, oh shucks, this looks kind of familiar, you know? So they kind of bought into it. And I feel like the Giants showed up to Philly thinking that, this has to be a game. Everyone's saying it's going to be a game. We really don't have to do anything, and we're going to have a chance in the fourth quarter to win the game. They thought they could just show up, and it was going to be an all-time classic comeback, rah-rah, hoorah speech. No, they came in and got their fucking ass kicked from the first whistle, and that's what happens when you have to play. You have to show up to play. You can't just show up and it's automatically going to be a game. Everyone who plays football knows everyone's been on the team at some point of their life where you felt the sentiment of the team where dudes, just because last year the game was close, we're going to show up this year and have a close game and got your ass kicked. You got to show up to play. Every game, every week, you have to show up to play because you will get your ass kicked in football. Okay, Giants, disappointing. Eagles are the better team, and they showed their dominance. And then I was also wrong because I picked the Cowboys to beat the Niners, which we all know didn't happen. And, yeah, there's a lot to get into with this game. Okay, man. You guys know nobody's harder on Dak Prescott than me, and it's for good reason. I was saying last week, the Cowboys can beat the 49ers. The 49ers have the overall better squad if you want to go from kicker to long snapper, top to bottom. They have the better roster. But if you look at the 2 quarterback positions, there's one of the quarterback is the last pick in the draft. He's a rookie. And it's not like Tom Brady where he was the last pick of the draft 20 years ago and ended up becoming the GOAT. He was literally the last pick in the draft this year. He's only started 6-7 games. So we really still don't even know who this guy is in a sense. And one of the guys is making $40 million a year. And 2 years ago made $75 million, including the signing bonus. So, you got a $75 million quarterback versus the last pick in the draft. If these guys just had blank faces and I told you who's going to play better, you would say, the $75 million guy, no doubt the last pick in the draft guy is probably going to shit the bed. So, we kind of know what Brock Purdy's going to do. He's not going to he doesn't seem to get rattled to the point where he's going to lose a game for his team. And plus, like I said, playing quarterback on that 49ers team with all those weapons and Kyle Shanahan's offense, it's built for you really not to have to drop back and make bad decisions. Like, it's pretty much going to play action, screen, play action, 1, 2, 3, read. There was a 4-3 where he came back to Kittle. That was an outlier, but he's really not asked to do that a lot. You know, it's pretty much easy reads for him. So he's really not going to beat himself. He's not going to be the reason they lose. It seems like from what I've seen watching them play. But Dak Prescott, you have to outplay him. And that's the thing with Dak Prescott. You got a guy making $40 million where it's you seriously got to ask yourself week to week, is this guy, what is he going to do? I don't know. You know what Patrick Mahomes would have done that game. I would say this all the time. Patrick Mahomes is so good that there's about 25 teams in the league he's just not going to lose to no matter what's going on. I don't care if it's the hottest day in the history of the earth. I don't care if it's the coldest day in the history of the earth. There's 25 teams in the NFL that Patrick Mahomes is just too good to lose to. And there's 31 teams in the NFL that Dak Prescott can lose to on any given day. It's just you don't know what. So going forward, Cowboys, what do you do? What the hell do you do? If it's me, I've been seen enough. I wouldn't even sign Dak today because I know what he is. It's 7 years, 7 years of the season. And with Dak Prescott, it ends in the season. You know your season's going to end in complete chaos. Last year, he got tackled by a ref. Nobody's ever been tackled by a ref in the history of pro sports. And Dak Prescott, on the last play, it's not like something in the middle of the game. To end your season, with the fate of the season on the line, you got, I don't care what happened, who's right, who's wrong. What it is, you got tackled by a referee. And that's never happened, and that's chaos. I don't care. If season ends in tackled by a referee, chaos. This year, the season ends on the worst hook and lateral slash, right, the play before, the pinky toe was out of bounds. I don't know, man. It just ends in chaos. You can't trust him. He cannot be trusted. So, Cowboys, you're going to lose. They got a lot of free agents. You got guys like, who's a free agent next year for them? Tony Pollard, Dalton Schultz, who I really like a lot. But I think you got to franchise tag Tony Pollard, see what happens with his leg. You could let Dalton Schultz go because I like what I saw this year out of those two young tight ends they got. So I feel like Dalton Schultz is a damn good tight end. The money that he wants, I don't think it's worth it if you're the Cowboys when you got those two young tight ends that they got. Trust me, they're good. They can play. One of the guys, I seen him hurdle somebody. He's going to be really good. Guy, I think number 89 or 87, Ferguson, forgot his name. But it doesn't matter. So they're going to have their hands tied when it comes to who they bring back. But let's talk about what should they do with the quarterback position. What should they do with Dak Prescott? In my opinion, I can't sit there and watch that if I'm Jerry. I can't do it. I've seen enough. 7 years of chaos. 7 years of chaos. I can go year by year. Just look up how the Cowboys season ends every year. It's been chaos every year since Dak Prescott was a quarterback, and you know who the guy is. Maybe it's too much for him. His eyes get too big in the huddle. I don't like the way he be looking at people in the huddle like this, hand shaking. I've never seen a quarterback stomp on the ground for the ball so hard in my life. It just doesn't look. Something's not right. It's not a good fit. Dak Prescott as a Dallas Cowboys quarterback, they're never going to win a Super Bowl. It's just not going to happen. Not in Dallas. Can he win somewhere? Of course. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. So hopefully he can. But so here's what you do. Here's what you can do. Let's look at all the options. So they can either let him ride out the rest of his contract. He has 3 years left on it in total, maybe 2. But we all know what's going to happen. Or I've seen a lot of people were talking about trade for Lamar Jackson. You're already kind of handcuffed with Dak's salary as it is. Lamar Jackson's going to come in and ask for more money than Dak's making as it is. Yeah, he's the better quarterback, but you still need to surround him with those pieces to win. And he's not Patrick Mahomes. So they're kind of in the same position, I feel like, with Dak Prescott as far as how hard it is to build a team around Lamar to win. Just because of the amount of money that he's going to demand. And there's still a lot of guys on that team up and coming that you got to pay and want to pay. But that would be a good move. I feel like if they did that, that's a win for the Cowboys, of course. But hear me out on this one. There's a quarterback who over, I think his entire career or over like the past 5 to 7 years has the most fourth quarter comebacks out of anybody in the NFL. That includes Tom Brady, includes Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Stafford, anybody can. And his name is Derek Carr. Now, did he have the best year this year? No. Is he better than Dak Prescott? Yes. And I also believe that him being benched those last couple weeks for the Raiders is complete bullshit. I think that it was a way for Josh McDaniels to kind of get the heat off of him. He's like, oh, don't look at me. Our quarterbacks, quote unquote, suck this year. So you can't put all the bullshit, the shit show that we've been running this year on me. When really I feel like more of that blame was on the way that Josh McDaniels was running stuff versus just the sole play of Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr. He's a good quarterback. And I feel like if they do that trade, that's a win-win for both teams, you know? Dak can go to the Raiders, and me being a Chargers fan, that's going to make me happy because I don't fear Dak Prescott with the ball in the 2-minute drill at all. So I'm pretty cool about that. But if you're the Cowboys, I feel like this kind of, because they have a good team around. Derek Carr is not demanding Dak Prescott, damn near not demanding Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson money. And this could kind of be the fit that Matthew Stafford was in the Rams, where, okay, you know what he is. He's a damn good quarterback. You know he's not going to, the season won't end in chaos. He can win you those close games. He can throw it to you. Your best receivers will be happy. And this could possibly, he won't fuck things up for your team if you're trying to win a Super Bowl. If you feel like you have a roster that can make it to the Super Bowl, you can plug him in and he can get your team there. So I feel like that's the best option for the Cowboys. If they could figure out a deal. I don't know exactly how the monies work. The Raiders would have to include a little bit more just because Dak Prescott's salary. But I feel like if I'm the Cowboys, if I'm Jerry Jones, if I'm the Cowboys, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm a lot more comfortable going forward from with Derek Carr as my quarterback than tolerating the chaos that I've seen with Dak Prescott over the past 7 years. It's ridiculous. You got to win that game, man. In the history of Tom Brady, when did he lose to the last pick in the draft as a rookie? You can't do that. That dude, Joe Montana, even Joe Burrow. No, if you're that guy, you do not lose a divisional playoff game, I don't care home or away, to the last pick in the draft. And you're going to see, Jalen Hurts is not going to lose to him. The 49ers have a damn good team, but history shows, I don't even think a rookie's ever played in the Super Bowl, let alone the last pick in the draft. Jalen Hurts is legit quarterback. He showed last week he's that dude. They got a system. They got a damn good team. They're not going to lose. Okay, and with that said, I'll get into next week's the NFC Conference and AFC Conference Championship games in a couple other videos later on this week. But moral of the story, Dak's got to go.